Will reinforcements from the Fourth World mean all the difference to the members of the Justice League, or is their fate sealed already? Well, let's hop into the pages of DCeased War of the Undead Gods issue number 5 and find out together, shall we? Alrighty then, as we rejoin the story in progress, we actually get a chance to check back on in with Scott Free and Big Barda. They'd been gone from the story for so long I had actually forgotten about them for a minute. They returned to Earth with the Black Racer to try and warn Superman and everyone else about the coming of the new gods and how they too have fallen to the anti-life sickness. I get the distinct feeling Black Racer wishes he didn't stop off at Space McDonald's because they're all incredibly late and most of the heroes of Earth are already gone. Speaking of, as we check back on in with Superman and the contingent of heroes who had left Earth behind, we are in the wake of them almost all killing each other because of the influence of Ares, the god of war. Mr.mxlxypx, the all-powerful imp of the fourth dimension, had actually stepped on in and managed to stop any of the carnage from popping off, which surprises, well, basically everybody that things have gotten so bad that this guy who usually only cares about his own pleasure has actually gotten involved. By far the saddest truth, though, is even though no one in this room wants to kill each other right now, that still doesn't mean they're any closer to actually agreeing on a course of action. Even though the Guardians of the Universe don't want to destroy planets infected by the anti-life equation right now, that still doesn't mean they're going to be able to deliver enough cure for any of it to make a difference in a meaningful amount of time. We're still, once some of the other heroes start talking about Erebus and how this anti-life equation and Darkseid may only be the tip of a much more ancient and horrifying iceberg, things only start to get even more dour. In fact, Ganthan and the others think now is the time to bring together all the members of the Quintessence to talk about their next course of action. Which, for the record, their plan totally sucks, by the way. They think everyone in this universe is boned and they already need to start thinking about the next universe. Now, whether they mean a next universe literally or if they're speaking of it more figuratively and hey, if we could just force a crisis, then we can get a mulligan on all of this business is yet to be seen. While all of this is going on too, the heroes realize that Darkseid and the zombie hordes are actually about to take over Kilowog's home planet. Clark and Mixie vow to meet them in the field, but Superman actually stops his son from coming along, saying that the only way he'll feel comfortable possibly risking his own life once again for the betterment of everyone in the universe is if he still knows John is out there somewhere protecting Lois, Ma and Pa Kent and everyone else back on Earth who needs him, making sure that there will always be a Superman to protect them. The actual battle for the planet itself is equally heartstring tugging. You see, Kilowog had actually abandoned the rest of the Guardians and the Corps when they said that they weren't going to help him defend his home. But wouldn't you know it, John, Kyle, and the rest of the Corps happily said, screw the rules, we're going to go help our friend and teacher Kilowog because, well, he wouldn't leave any of us behind and we're sure not going to leave him behind. At first, the heroes actually do pretty good pushing back the zombies. After all, with Superman on their side, not only are they winning the battle, but they're also winning the hearts and minds of all the terrified people. That S does a lot of good, Unfortunately, though, Clark isn't the only one wearing an S these days. In fact, it's only right here, right now, does Clark end up coming face to face with his cousin Kara, who, again, he didn't even know existed in this universe until right now. Zombie Supergirl and Yellow Lantern Darkseid managed to blindside Superman, and you think, Mixie's gonna come on through as the ace in the hole. Unfortunately, even a fourth-dimensional god like Mixie proves to not be faster than this speed of the anti-life corruption. He rips off his own face before growing to kaiju size. John and Kilowog heroically throw down their own lives to try and defend everyone from a rampaging Mixie, but it's not good enough. The imp ends up flying directly to Oa and taking out the Green Lantern's power battery. Which, losing Green Lantern power now and most of them are fighting in space is absolutely terrible because a good portion of them still need to breathe air, damn it. Once again, it would seem like all hope is lost, but once more a very unexpected hero ends up stepping up to try and help fill the void and save everyone. In this case, it's the Spectre, Jim Corrigan. In a very fun bit of writing, Jim actually thinks that the rest of the Quintessence is being too cowardly and are giving up way too soon in saving this universe. In fact, with the chips down, the Spectre actually goes out of his way to use his own amazing, seemingly endless power to reignite the Green Lantern's power battery, which is cool because when you remember Hal Jordan actually used to be the Spectre, maybe the Spirit actually did end up actually retaining some Green Lantern information. At least that's the headcanon I'm going with. Now that the Spectre has officially joined the battle too, he vows to take down the zombified Mixie all on his own. Meaning as the comic comes to a close, we are promised a very literal battle between gods and monsters next time. And so that that was DCeased War of the Undead Gods issue number 5, everyone, and overall I thought this was another very solid issue, one that went out of its way to try and tug heartstrings at every turn. I know I keep saying it, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record when talking about DCeased, but I love the idea that this whole big zombie movie inciting incident basically means Tom Taylor is free to write about whoever he wants. Because seeing how our favorite heroes would react with their back against the wall and the world ending all around them is just a great excuse to write heroes being heroes. Kilowog gets a really sweet love letter in this story, followed by a very emotional final stand. Likewise, Clark and John and the rest of the Superman family, with the young Superman saying, "Hey, I moved heaven and earth to bring you back to life once before, Dad, and I'll do it again if I have to." Overall, I'd feel comfortable giving this one another strong 8.5 out of 10. I never quite know what to expect when I crack open a brand new issue of DCeased, but because of that, I'm almost always pleasantly surprised.
Hey there everyone, Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.